And so please describe to me what the aesthetic look is exactly.
More like this guy here.
Yeah. So we'll go ahead and bring
Oh wow, you really have to come in here?
like this guy.
Is this
No,
is this really happening? You met the other guy behind you, bro. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm right into that bad boy.
You can stay right there, behind the camera, behind the camera. No, see now you got me jealous now.
That's okay.
That's not
no,
fair.
but you're more in the category like Lutheran Arnold. Okay?
My man. Yeah. Arnold Ferrigno. Huh?
Okay.
Aesthetic. That's great, partner. You two ever go out place everything in its proper place?
That does not make sense, but we usually do go, we head to Kroger's and we work.
Oh, yeah. I've got a lady waiting for me back home also. She has the most beautiful scrotum. Oh, God. And when she sings, she sounds just like a puppy dog. How do you nail a photo?
Just gotta get in the mode. You gotta talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes.
Talk with your eyes. You
Okay,
gotta
so
have the eyes
can
first.
you show me a little bit of something, like to this camera? I would love to know how to do this. I just want to know.
Well,
How
I
do you do it?
mean,
Teach
the
me
smile,
something.
You can get the sexy eyes. Then you gotta get the smile going on some shoots. But
Wait, hold up.
You got-
I gotta
when
try
it's
this
time-
with
when
you.
it- when it's
Hold
time
on.
to laugh,
I gotta try
you
this
gotta
with
think of
you.
something funny
All
and start laughing.
Do it again. Do it again. How do you do it? Teach me.
sexy eyes.
The sexy eye.
This is sexy eyes right here.
Smizing?
Smile.
So you're smizing.
Smile.
Okay.
And then you gotta get the.
No, I look like I need to take a poop or something.
Wish words were like little toy guns. No sting, no hurt, no one, just a bang, bang. Right?
Is that it?
Yeah, it's something like that. Just a bang,
Toy
bang,
guns.
rolling off your tongue.
Toy guns.
It's no smoke, no
Bang, bang.
bullets.
Water guns. All right.
Pascal, you are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold up, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Pascal Show. Good morning, everybody. Hope you guys are all doing well out there and enjoying your time. It is Tuesday morning. Some people like to call it Tuesday or Monday part 2 up in this piece, but I hope you guys are all enjoying your time, having a good one. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully you guys are doing everything you need to do today to get your asses out the bed and out here. You know what I'm saying? To do something positive with all y'all selves, okay? If you're feeling good today, be sure to go and hit that like button, please. That would really be appreciated, okay? And for those of y'all who are just watching for the very first time, don't forget to crush that subscribe button. That would really, really mean a lot. Good morning to everybody that's starting to pile in and all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to hit that like button one more time. You know what I mean? Send this show off on a positive note. We got some stuff we got to talk about. You know what I'm saying? There's some really crazy stories out here in these streets that we definitely need to talk about. That still, to me, I'm still kind of reeling over, to be really honest. This news that I just saw just this morning, dealing with Bob Dylan. Bob Dylan, of all people. You know what I'm saying? Like a Rolling Stone. You know what I mean? Bob Dylan. You know what I'm saying? So we got to talk about that. We got some updates about Afghanistan, the things that are going on in Afghanistan and the Taliban with Afghanistan. And then we also have to talk about Haiti, some more updates in regards to Haiti, especially after this tropical storm of Grace that just the opposite of what grace really means, went in there and did its thing on the country of Haiti. So we got some things to talk about. And of course, we got to do a little story about Naomi Osaka at a press conference. And also, I got something funny for you guys to watch. We gotta leave the show at least chuckling a tiny bit, okay? So don't forget to hit that like button. Show that love if you can. That'd be greatly, greatly appreciated. Also, here it is. Chuck, Diesel, hopefully you had a very good birthday. And hopefully people gave you some love through the Cash App that I was able to put up on yesterday. So if you got some good love, I mean, you know, we don't need to know what happened betwixt the sheets. You feel me? You know, in your birthday suit. But if you had a good time and got some love via Cash App, definitely give me a hell yeah in the chat, okay? I would really, really appreciate it. Let me throw up the fellas. You know what I'm saying? We got to get the guys in the house. You know what I'm saying? We got T back with us as well. And we got, of course, David in his beard and all of his glorious beard. You know what I mean? This ginger beard. Anyway, how y'all feeling? How y'all doing? What's popping? What's good?
Man, everything's good out here. Hi to everyone in chat. It's like you said, we got a bit of a shorter show today, so there's a lot we're going to cover pretty quickly here, but looking forward to it.
Yes. And it's just been a very long one for me. Last night was a very long night for me personally. I was working on a project which I'm gonna show you guys here actually in a second, because I want to show off some of the labors of my hard work and the person that is involved in it as well. I will be showing you guys that here shortly. But T, man, okay, we haven't seen you in a minute. You know what I'm saying? It's been a little bit. You've been busy, doing some dope things like education and get acing those exams and those papers. So let's talk about it. What's good, man?
I'm good. I'm happy to be back on the show. It's been, I guess, a few days. I've been like in zombie land,
I feel you.
just zoned out on papers and studying notes and exams. So, but I'm back in the flesh. I'm halfway here, but I'm all the way here in spirit. I'll say.
I feel you, man. I feel you. But I'm glad that you're here. Excuse me. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad you were able to kick ass and take names with those exams and those papers. But, real talk, I wasn't scared. I ain't scared for you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't worried about you. You feel me? I ain't worried about you, T. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate it. I mean, I know the love is there somewhere. So
just saying.
I would take whatever you give. That's all.
Hey, man. You know what I mean? The love is real. The love is real. You know what I'm saying? If you killed somebody, I'd help you cover it up. You see what I'm saying? The love is real. No, I shouldn't have said that out loud. I shouldn't.
That's an inside thought.
I messed that up. Plot twist. Spoiler alert. So for those of y'all who are just tuning in, for those of y'all who are just starting to file in, what's up? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to all you guys. Like we've just said a second ago, today is going to be a little bit of a shorter show. Why, you ask? Is because I was really busy yesterday, and I wanted to show you guys a little bit of what I have been doing, or what I did last night. And of course, I'm going to ask you guys to do your thing and show some love and support over on this particular channel as well. So I have a friend slash client by the name of Miley. Okay. And last night she did her own live performance in her living room. Okay. So I was the person that was lucky enough to produce it, direct it, and put it all together. You know what I'm saying? I mean, she put a lot of things together too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? As far as the video side of things, I made I made some stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? So I wanted to show you guys a tiny bit of it, just a tiny bit, just so you can see what it is. And then hopefully you guys will go when you have some time. You want to hear some good music, hop over to her video and take a look at it for yourselves. So let's take a look at this, shall we? You know, I mean, this is literally right in the middle of one of the songs, but I just want you guys to hear it.
Got my daddy credit card tickets to the mall. Matching outfits, we be swagging hard. Special ringtone when my baby called. I was riding with you when you cut your charge. 12B always tripping, man, fuck the law. Hey, first time that we did it up in Forest Park. In love with a youngin' from the boulevard. Love me like the first time you love me. Touch me like the first time you touch me. Yeah. You give me the young love, yeah. The young love, yeah. Love me like the first time you love me.
So if you get some time to go check her out, okay? She's a very, very talented individual. She's a good friend of mine. You know, I've been working with her, and we've been friends for a very, very long time. And she doesn't suck. Okay, she's a very, very talented girl, very, very talented woman. If you can, go check it out. It is up on the page. We were live last night doing this show and doing this live performance. And real talk, I don't think I've slept. I don't think I've really slept yet. So I'm a little tired. But I wanted to show you guys the work that I do on the other side of on my side of the world. You know what I mean? A lot of y'all think that all I do is just this. And hell to the no, I do. There's a lot more going on with what I do outside of this room. And so I run a production company, video production company. She is one of my clients. And yeah, so we did a live show last night. Looks like we're going to be doing this again more often. And I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? She's very, very talented. And that is just a small snippet. Actually, hold on. Let me show you. Let me show you proof. Let me show you proof that I was there. Hold on. And that was mine. Hold up real quick. Hold up 1 second. Just so you guys can see it. One more time for proof. This is the very beginning of the show.
We are live. It's sending data. Does that mean we're live? We're ready? Okay. Yeah. All right. We are ready.
Okay. So hey, who's that? Everyone, please welcome the musical stylings of My Lee. And yes, I'm very, very tall. Okay, just so you guys know. T can confirm that. I am very, very tall. Okay, so there you guys go. Live, doing the thing last night. Please go over to our YouTube channel. It is My Lee. Hold on. Yeah, it's youtube.com/Miley, MAILEE 314, if I'm correct. Go check it out. I'll put the link in the chat. You know what I'm saying? If you get some time to go check it out, please show some support. Go hit her subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? She's planning on doing more. We got something coming up in about a month, so I'm looking forward to it. You know what I'm saying? So just so you guys know, just a little something, a little different today. Just wanted to show you another side of my world, okay, on what I do. All right. But anyway, David, you're doing good. T, you're doing great. I'm glad you guys are doing very, very well. So we got to jump into the stories. We definitely got to jump into the conversation about Haiti. And I know that a lot of us are wondering, hey, what's been going on? What are the stories going on with that? What's the news? All right. Now, as of yesterday, when we talked, it was about well over 1,300 people that 1,300 people that have lost their lives. Now we are at a place of 1,419 people have died. We have 7,000 injured. And this is also after the tropical storm Grace hit Haiti. So it did hit the country. And of course, this was just days after a 7.2 magnitude earthquake that, of course, claimed the many lives of the people of Haiti in the southern part of Haiti. Still, just so you guys know, I'm still trying to figure out what the story on my end, as far as on my extended family. We haven't gotten in touch with everybody as of yet, but we're still trying to find out what's going on with everybody. And just to check on the safety of everybody. So we still don't know everything yet. But like I said, once I know something, of course, I'll be letting you guys know about this. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what we know so far about Haiti right now. 1,419 souls have been claimed, all right, or have been lost due to the earthquake. And of course, that tropical storm, Grace, did not make the situation any better at all. And like I've said before, if there's any ways that you can find ways to contribute to help, send supplies, so on and so forth, please do so. We are the people of Haiti are in dire straits and are in serious need of your help. All right. So I just wanted to let you guys know a little bit more information about what's going on in Haiti. But right now we have 1,419 souls lost due to this earthquake. And of course, things slowed down because of this tropical storm. So once we know some more information, I will let you guys know, especially even with my own family. updates on my family as well. So I will let you guys know. But we do have some updates in regards to Afghanistan as well, which is absolutely insane. Okay, now the reason why there's something we need to talk about with Afghanistan. There has been a viral video that's been flying all over the place, and I don't mean to use flying, pun not intended. It was not intended, but there is some really serious stuff going on. There was 2 different videos that were going viral yesterday, showing people who are fleeing Afghanistan trying to jump onto a plane that was already starting to take off. That is video clip number 1. Then there was a second clip of the plane in the air, and someone was still clinging on to the plane, loses grip, and plummets to their death. Real talk.
There's another one that they found in the wheel well of the aircraft that was taken off. So someone died and landed on the landing gear before it was retracted as well.
You know, you know, what's so crazy to me is that, I mean, there's literally somebody who thought that they were clinging on to that, like that they could possibly hang on, because they were that desperate to leave that country because of what's going on. The Taliban is full on taking over. I mean, there's other video that I found kind of comical. I hate to say that, but I mean, real talk, you got them going through the presidential palace, and the presidential palace has a full on gym, and they're just like working out, and like a bunch of kids in a candy store running around, messing around with all these pieces of workout equipment and machines and all that. You know what I mean? Like the Taliban is having a blast right now. You know, at least from the videos that are circulating everywhere. Now, I would show you guys these videos in regards to the plane taking off and all that, but they're just too graphic to show. That is somebody's life that is now gone, that was clinging on to dear life just so that they can leave Afghanistan. That's how desperate people are right now. That's the reality that we live in right now. And it's just, Tucker Hackner just said heartbreaking. Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. This is a very heartbreaking situation that we're in right now. You know, and of course, you know, it's still developing. It's still going on. You know, Biden did take the time to do a little bit of a press conference yesterday in regards to this whole situation with pulling the troops out of Afghanistan and whatnot. And I have a little bit of a quote that he said during his press briefing. He said, "American troops cannot and should not be fighting in a war and dying in a war that Afghan forces are not willing to fight for themselves." Just so you know, that's Biden. That's President Biden is saying that out of his own mouth. Just so you know. And here's the thing. He ain't wrong. He ain't wrong. If you have American soldiers over there for 2 decades, and the people of Afghanistan like aren't willing to stand up and fight for the same things that America is trying to do, like trying to protect them from, and they're there for 2 decades, losing their lives, etc. I don't blame what Biden is saying here. I just don't like the way they did it. Like I said, I wish that there was a better transition, a smoother transition, right? But I guess at the end of the day, there is no such thing as a smooth transition when you're taking troops out of a country, right? There is no such thing as a smooth transition. But I see his point. I see what Biden is saying here.
Yeah, I ended up reading his comments earlier on, and there are a lot of people that are basically just I think a lot of people are just teaming up on him because it was a Democrat that did it instead of a Republican. What Biden did say was that he was continuing Trump's plan, and that basically this is what the rest of Trump had planned. And so I think if Trump did it, we might be hearing a lot less complaints from some people. But there is always going to be the military-industrial complex working against them. And like you said, I think Biden is 100% correct. And I'll get into it some more after the videos. But the ANA cannot be trusted, the Afghan National Army. And he's totally right about that. And I think that's who he's talking about, because they won't stand with the U.S. They're more likely to stand with the Taliban, even though we're the ones that gave them all their weapons.
Mm-hmm. T, thoughts?
I don't know what to think. It's it's just sad to see that people are that desperate for survival, and they have no other means of safety. You're choosing to hang on to an airplane. Doesn't make much sense for somebody who's living a life that's normal. But when someone's in survival mode, they would do anything desperately to survive. I'm just thinking the comparisons of people who are trying to leave Cuba or Haiti years ago on like tire rafts to go to Miami. I mean, desperation sinks in, and the human will to survive kicks in.
Mm-hmm.
It's just sad to see the tragedy that's happening right now.
Unfortunately, a lot of the other people, like the ones that some of the people that were jumping on the aircraft were more from rural areas, and unfortunately, they really don't know how aircraft work throughout the country. I mean, for most of the country, especially in the rural areas, the most technology they have is a truck and a cell phone they can charge in the truck. A lot of times when they get on aircraft, they have panic attacks because they didn't know anything like that existed. And I think that's part of why so many people are holding on to that, because they don't really, a lot of them don't understand how dangerous that is. And that's why they ended up falling. Like you said, a lot got pulled off at the end, but it's just a complicated situation. Thankfully, the Kabul airport is open again today. So they are now flying people out normally.
Yeah, I mean, now they are. Now
Yeah.
they are. As an update, they are finally doing that now. But they weren't at that time, right? That was the last plane. From what they understood, that was the last plane for them to leave, to find refuge, to find salvation outside of that country. And the thing is now that they turned everything back on, like they said, okay, flights out of here are going to be back. We're going back to normal and all that. I just wish that didn't happen. I wish they didn't go to that place of, well, we're shutting everything down. Then you have people who are desperate. You see these videos of people crawling and hanging on to the wheels of the plane because they're so terrified, and because they know that this is the last plane out of here. That's the sad part of it all. When you have something like that in the back of your mind, if you know this could possibly be the only time, the only moment that I can leave this country without getting my head chopped off, what's going to happen? You're going to have people who are going to sit there and cling onto the side of a plane like they're Tom Cruise in MI6. And I don't mean that as a joke. I'm just being straight funky. It's really, really sad that we have this. It's heartbreaking when you see videos like this. That's why I keep saying I get Biden's stance in all of this. And no, I don't think that Biden should be the bad guy in this situation. Shouldn't we be looking at 43? Shouldn't we be looking at 43 for a second here? You brought him in there in the first place. That's where it all started. 20 some odd years. Wow, it's so crazy 20 years ago. But 20 years ago, they'd all started there. But we're looking at Biden saying, oh, he's a jerk. They're trying to invoke the 25th Amendment, so on and so forth, because of his choices with Afghanistan. Like I said before, I get it. I get the frustration. It's It's effed up. It's messed up. But at the same time, and it's messed up on the way it was taken care of. But it had to have been done at some point. This was going to happen. I just wish it didn't have to be a situation of people fearing for their lives, people clinging onto sides of planes while that plane is in air, just so they can find salvation somewhere else. David?
Yeah, I was going to say that, I mean, I agree with you here. The thing is, so a lot of people are going to try to attack him now. And of course, some people like Trump are already calling him for a resignation, even though according to Biden, he is following Trump's plan, which seems to be true based on what Trump had suggested he was going to do before he lost the next presidency. So one thing is that the people in Afghanistan understand the Afghan National Army and the Taliban a lot more than most Americans do. So for the most part, the Afghan National Army, which is the ANA, they have generally worked as much for the Taliban as for the U.S. people training them. I've been under attack by the ANA when they ambushed one of our units. Some guy I knew was training them in language and culture, and they shot him in the back of the head. You just can't trust the ANA, unfortunately. They've always largely worked with the Taliban. And that's part of why the fully sudden draw out was important. Mm-hmm. Because if you just left, say, 1,000 troops there in one location, and I've seen this happen while I was there, the Taliban and the ANA will work together to overrun that, and all 1,000 of those people will just disappear overnight. They've attempted this many times in the past, and sometimes they've even succeeded, unfortunately. So the people that live in these different provinces, they know that the ANA will not be protecting them because they're already working for the shadow governors in a lot of instances. So that's part of why they're running. And of course, the military industrial complex, and this has been warned about by various presidents, will want to continue to have us there. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of this news push, is because it's profitable for them if we're in war in Afghanistan. And by ending it, they lose a lot of money. I mean, you have to consider that Afghanistan creates most opium in the world, and we create the most opiates that are produced out of that opium. We depend heavily on the alkaline trade out of Afghanistan for our batteries, and not to mention oil. That's largely why we've stayed there for so long. And that's why I think people want us to go back. People that were happy with Trump's plan are now attacking Biden for doing the exact same thing. And I just think that's partisan hypocrisy there. I think Biden's big mistake was not evacuating our allies and the interpreters first. But other than that, I have no criticism for what he's done. And I don't like Biden whatsoever. And I will defend him on this. He made the choice that was necessary. Like I said, than bringing the interpreters first. That was a big mistake. I'm not even necessarily sure who made that mistake, though Biden should have been aware of it at the very least. But overall, I think he did what was necessary. One of the ideas was that some people should have been left behind, like a small crew. That's just not going to work. They would be overrun and they would be killed. It's happened in bases with many more people. Even I was on a base with like 20,000 people on it, and it still got overrun in parts of it by the Taliban. And the ANA feeds them information all the time, so you can't necessarily trust your allies there. So when Biden says that we can't help people that don't want to help themselves, he is talking about the Afghan National Army, because they ran away or they sided with the Taliban immediately. And all we've been doing is further arming Afghanistan. I mean, we're kind of lucky that now that we're gone, Russia and China have to deal with it, so they'll be busy with it instead of us. But I mean, this whole thing was a mistake. We should have left well over 10 years ago. The Al-Qaeda was gone by the second year, and the Taliban doesn't have the technology or the forces to attack anyone outside of their own territory. They didn't even train those people. Saudi Arabia and the U.S. trained those people, and then they fled, and that's the situation they're in. And so the Taliban is trying to handle this differently. One thing most people don't realize is that all of Afghanistan is Islam. Amongst the Pashtun tribes, they have this thing called Pashtunwali, which is kind of like a code of chivalry. That's more important than that. And that does include taking people in that require sanctuary. And the Taliban has done this for American troops, in fact. People have claimed sanctuary, and the Taliban has given it. This is a very powerful cultural thing amongst them. And I think it's stronger than Islam, which a lot of people aren't aware of. So what we're seeing from the Taliban is that they are kind of responding more to this, and I don't wholly trust them. So this could completely be a lie, but we are seeing them do some of what they said. So they are working out peace deals with Russia and China right now. Or sorry, Russia and Iran right now, not China. They've agreed not to attack the Chinese concentration camps of Muslims for now, and they're working on the peace deal with Russia and Iran. Supposedly they have actually said this. The Taliban has been going on a bunch of news networks, including ones hosted by females. I've been watching them myself, saying that they do want women more involved in the government and that they plan to build up the government soon to allow that. They also plan to confiscate weapons, which I'm sure a lot of people on the left would enjoy, but it's not really a great idea in Afghanistan. Everyone there is already in desperate straits. The Taliban will take advantage of them, and they do need to protect themselves from roaming warlord bands which exist in the area. So taking all their weapons isn't necessarily a great idea. So, I mean, the Taliban is creating a government here, and it's going to be an authoritative government, but they are trying to, I think, appease the West by doing some of the things that we want. Because, like I said, their culture is more important to them than their religion. Most people there can't read, so they've never even read the Quran. They don't know any more than the first surah, which is the one you recite for prayer. So I do think that we might see by the end of this a more stable government under the Taliban. And we do need to stop supporting them. We supported the Mujahideen against Russia. The Mujahideen became the Taliban. So we started supporting the Afghan National Army, where we gave them armored vehicles, aircraft, and much more modern weapons. They were already selling those to the Taliban, and now they ran off to join them. So Biden did what he had to do. My only criticism is that we should have evacuated the interpreters first.
Right.
And that's going to remain my only criticism from what we're seeing. We can't help what's going on in Afghanistan, and we've known that for so very long.
Right. And, the funny thing is, first off, David beautifully said all that stuff, just dropping in facts. And the other thing I want to say is somebody was commenting, are we bashing Biden? In no way, shape or form are we bashing Biden right now. Kelly B. She said, wait, is this a Biden bashers now? I haven't watched in a while. I may be in the wrong place /channel. Here it is. We're not bashing Biden at all. We're actually sitting here saying that he did what he had to do. You can't help somebody if they're not willing to help themselves. That's literally what he's basically saying. And there have been troops here in Afghanistan for 2 decades, American troops, and at some point, he had to rip the Band-Aid off. At some point, you know what I mean. So with what David just said, David is absolutely right. There's so much corruption going on. There's all this stuff that's going on, and it seems like every single time that we give them something, it's going to something else. It's going to the Taliban. It's going to other powers, the negative powers that be. And it's like I said, it's just, you can't help somebody unless they're willing to help themselves. And if you're sitting there doing all the heavy lifting and you're looking at that and nothing's changing, it could be at some point you're going, well, what do you do? Do we stay? Do we go? Do we stay? Do we go? And that's literally what's been the drama, the problem for the past 20 years. The only part, like David said, and what we've been saying throughout this whole show, is the reaction of these troops, the American troops leaving. It's heartbreaking. No matter what, it's still heartbreaking. But if they're not willing to help themselves, why be there? Now it's a place where it's almost like tough love. In my personal opinion, I look at it as tough love. Biden is looking at it and going, hey, they need to start figuring things out for themselves, because we've been here. We're trying to do our stuff. We've been doing our stuff, trying to help them out. Nothing is really changed, maybe, from what they've seen. My only concern is that this could turn into a negative thing, because there are people, I'll say it, there are people out here that are the people of Afghanistan that are trying to flee, and they see that the American troops just left. there are kids and or people out here that are looking at this that could be fueled with anger because the American troops left. Next thing you know, they're so angry at America, they turn to the Taliban. I'm just saying it out loud. It could be the seed that could sprout into something very, very negative and could be a negative reaction for Americans. Like I said, in a couple weeks, we got the 20th anniversary of 9/11. Let's keep that in the back of our minds here as we're talking about these things. 20 years ago, something so terrible happened on American soil. Something that we all thought would never, ever happen. Happened. My only fear is that this could sprout into something like that we could have another 9/11 in the near future by giving the Taliban power or giving the Taliban Afghanistan. That's the concern I have in my mind. But, that is just a prediction. That is just paranoia coming from my end. And like I've said before a million times, over and over and over again, my thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Afghanistan and the people who are still stuck there, the American citizens that are still there, probably hiding out, trying to find a way to get out of the country in one piece. And for all the Christians out there, I'm saying it now, because if you do not claim Islam, there are stories that are circulating right now where people are getting dragged out into the street and executed on sight. And that's for anything, for any reason other than claiming Islam. So it's a very heavy situation. It was needed to be done, but like I said, I just wish it was a much smoother transition than this. But anyway, we got to jump into our next story. We got to hop into the next story because we could talk about this till we're blue in the face, y'all. Okay. Do me a favor, y'all. If you haven't done it yet, hit that like button. Okay. Hit that like button down below. That really mean a lot. Okay. We're talking, we're having these conversations, but of course we got to jump into our next story. And this one's kind of surprising to me. I'm going to be straight funky. This one just comes to me as it almost seems like it's coming out of left field, but at the same time, we have another legend on the chopping block right now. Basically like another, it's not as extreme, but a Bill Cosby situation, maybe. So there's a lawsuit alleging that Bob Dylan took advantage of a minor. Yeah. So we got to go into this story. Okay. So singer-songwriter Bob Dylan has been accused of drugging and sexually abusing a minor in 1965. This is 1965, y'all. A complaint filed in Manhattan Supreme Court on behalf of a woman referred to only as JC alleges that the legendary musician befriended and established an emotional connection with the plaintiff JC to lower her inhibitions with the object of sexually abusing her, which he did. JC is seeking a jury trial and unspecified damages. So a spokesperson for Dylan, who is now 80 years old, told the New York Post that this 56-year-old claim is untrue and will be vigorously defended. The complaint, which the NPR has reviewed, the article that I'm reading off of right now, alleges the abuse occurred over a 6-week period between April and May of 1965 at the Chelsea Hotel in New York City, where Dylan, then in his early 20s, kept an apartment. At the time, JC had just turned 12 years of age, y'all, and was a minor. Just so you know, she was a minor. Yeah. This is what the suit claims. JC is described today as a 68-year-old resident of Greenwich, Connecticut. The lawsuit was filed on Friday, just before the look back window closed under the New York State's Child Victims Act legislation signed by Governor Cuomo that ensures those who abuse children are held accountable criminally and civilly, and that survivors of childhood sexual abuse have a path to justice. The filing deadline for legislation, which allowed alleged victims to present claims regardless of when or how long ago the alleged abuse occurred, originally was August 14th of 2020, but was extended first to January 14th of 2021, and then it was extended to August 14th of 2021 to accommodate pandemic restrictions. So here we have it. All right. Just a little bit of the scenario. The complaint describes a scenario in which Dylan allegedly gave JC drugs and alcohol and also threatened physical violence, leaving her emotionally scarred and psychologically damaged to this day. By 1965, he was a prominent figure in pop culture, performing and writing songs that gave voice to the anti-war and civil rights movements. His many honors include multiple Grammys, a Presidential Medal of Freedom, and the Nobel Prize for Literature. So, allegedly, he has taken advantage of a 12-year-old girl by the name of JC when she was 12 years old in 1965. Again, let me just say this too. Dylan is now 80 years old. 80 years old. Yeah. So this feels a little bit like the Bill Cosby situation a little bit, where it's things that have happened way in the past, and now he has to go back into the recesses of his mind to remember something like this, especially when he's 80 years old. She is 65. I'm not sitting here claiming that she is fibbing. I'm not sitting here saying that she's lying. But questions pop up, because I instantly think the statutes of limitations, right? But in this particular article, they're saying that that under this New York State's Child Victims Act, which was signed by Governor Andrew Cuomo, soon to be former governor. This is saying that it ensures those who are abused, children who are abused, or those who abuse children are held accountable criminally and civilly. Now, here's the thing. This is just a lawsuit. This is not he's not getting criminally charged from what I'm understanding here.
Right.
So, I'm not trying to be that guy, but questions do pop up of why not criminally? Why just civilly? But I'm going to throw it out to the guys. I'm going to throw it over to David, to T first, real quick. I want to hear your thoughts on this whole situation, man. And here, real quick, I just want to say, because I want to retract real quick, because I don't want to make it seem like I'm sitting here saying that people who claim sexual abuse are fibbing. I'm not that guy at all. But it's so long ago that it just sparks up questions. Okay, so T, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I just looked up the sexual limitations in New York, and it looks like rape has no time limit at all if it's rape. But child abuse is most cases are until a victim turns 55 for civil, and then 28 criminally. So she can't do anything as far as criminal or civil for child abuse. But if it's rape, then that's still valid in court. But again, trying to prove this case being multiple decades old is going to be a challenge for sure. I'm curious to, know like, why now, or what sparked her attempt to,
exactly,
go public with this. And in no way do I want to speak on any kind of person who was a victim of a sexual abuse.
No.
None of us actually know what happened. We weren't there. I always say, like, the sooner you come forward with any kind of abuse, the better. The longer you hold on to it, you allow the person who, the aggressor or the offender, to maintain a longer sense of entitlement and power over you, and also other people as well. So you actually are empowering, the offenders the longer you're quiet about it. Unfortunately, that's how that works. If he is an offender, but no matter what, I mean, this coming out now at 80 years old,
right,
for Bob Dylan is a tarnish mark on his legacy, because anytime a man is accused of rape, sexual assault, anything of that nature, and they have fame, it's always a black eye on their record. Even if they're proven innocent, it's one of those things where it kind of follows your career. And hopefully, if she is a true victim of this, that she does get the help that she needs as far as emotional support. I'm not sure if she's seeking any kind of financial support at all, but hopefully she does regain sense of purpose, sense of self, and that she actually can become an advocate herself of helping other victims of sexual assault and rape to speak up sooner. And her story can be an example of that. And if Bob is guilty of these things, that's between him and God. He definitely has to pay for his actions.
Oh yeah.
If he is guilty of doing these things.
I mean, he's gonna have to amend for sure. You know what I'm saying? When he's at those pearly gates, he's gonna have to say something. You know what I mean? He's gonna have to speak up, and repent. Talk, but the thing is that this is a civil suit, right? This is not a criminal. Like they're not pressing charges on him. This is a lawsuit, and it does beg the question of why, like you just said a second ago, why now? Now, one thing that I find very interesting before I say my piece, the Pioneer said, Pascal, that's what I'm saying. If you have evidence for what you're saying, why not file charges? And the thing is that's the other thing too. Now, like I said, I'm not going to sit here and say that this woman JC is lying. I'm not sitting here saying that she capping. Not at all. But at the same time, it does spark some questions of why didn't this woman JC do this before? And that, of course, that's the other question that keeps popping up in regards to like Bill Cosby and the sort, right? Of why aren't they bringing these things to light earlier on? I understand 12 years old and in 1965 is one thing, but now in 2021, when he's 80 years old and he probably doesn't even remember what he has done, it just sparks up a lot of questions, right? Now, the part that bothers me more than anything is that this is a civil suit. This is basically she's going after his pockets. Now, one way you destroy man, there's many ways you destroy man, right? One is his money. There's three ways. One is his money. Two is his rep. And three is the people that he loves. So she's going after his money. And whilst she's doing that, she is destroying and tarnishing his legacy. Now his name is tarnished for something that he may or may not have done. It's just very interesting because this is the thing. Every man, every person on this planet, the one thing that they have is their rep. Once you destroy their rep, they ain't got nothing. this man has been on this planet for a long time, and now this is happening. Like I said, it just sparks up a lot of questions. Not sitting here saying that JC's lying, but I go, why right now? Dave.
I mean, that's a good question. I'm not sure why this is happening right now. I mean, if you typically look at these cases and when they come out, it's usually when there's some sort of that person's receiving some sort of award or getting some sort of better political office or something is usually what triggers these claims. That's kind of what it was with Cuomo, even though we've had stories about it happening so far back. But I mean, for this case, it's a rough one. I mean, we don't know if she's telling the truth, but even if she is, really, it's going to be almost impossible to prove anything at this point. It would have had to happen a long time ago. I doubt her parents are still alive to even be witnesses at this point. They might be, but I don't think they are.
That would be a stretch, I think.
Yeah. I mean, her parents would have had to bring this up before to really have much of a hope of anything coming of this case, because there doesn't seem to be any sort of record whatsoever. So even though the requirement for evidence in civil court is much lower than for like a criminal court, I'm not even sure if they'll have enough to pull that off. And I mean, you make a good comparison to Bill Cosby with this, because they wanted to convict him so much that they did start bringing in that evidence that isn't really dependable or vetted, and that's exactly why he got released. Because they were so eager to get the conviction that they were bringing in statements that weren't fully vetted or did not have evidence to support them. And that could be very much what happens here as well. Even if he did get or criminal charge over, they'd probably end up throwing it out because of the lack of ability to verify the information that they're being given. Even if he did do this, as far as my thoughts, it's possible he did, but I would think there'd be more stories about it if he was molesting underage girls, especially when that young. You would think he would be someone that would do it more than just once, if that's something they do. But I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be possible to prove it at this point, even for a civil court. As far as why, it's just the why now really does kind of confuse me. I'm not too sure about this, but someone pointed out in chat that the law that she's using expires very soon, so that's probably why it expires in like a week or two or something.
Right. It expires soon. Yeah, and I guess there's just quick to sit here and say, hey, let's just get on here as quickly as possible. Let's get this lawsuit in as quickly as possible before it's too late. This is what happened to me, so on and so forth. But then at the same time, you never know. There might be a you don't know the mental state of that 65-year-old woman too. Maybe that's the situation too. I'm just throwing out the possibilities here, you know. But at the same time, I'll sit here and say this too. When something like this happens to a person, when someone survives something as catastrophic as being sexually abused, they don't forget. So, like I said, at the end of the day, the question is, why right now? Why not a few years ago? Why not a criminal charge? Why just civil? You know, there's a football player, I forgot his name, who was exposing himself and doing all this crazy stuff to masseuses and physical therapists and private trainers and all that. Sorry?
His name was Deshaun Watson.
Deshaun Watson, thank you. Perfect example. A lot of those women were trying to go after him civilly, not criminally, civilly. They just wanted his money. They were going after him for his financials. And it automatically makes you think, how many of these stories are being true? Now, this is the other thing, too. We're going to be seeing here soon. We'll see here soon what's going to be the reaction, right? Because we're going to see here other people might come out and say the same story, that Bob Dylan did these things. Or this might just be one story and one story only. So we'll find out as time goes on. You know, we'll see the truth here very, very soon. Trust and believe, you know. But hopefully, if he did what he did, he is sued handsomely for what he has done. Because I don't have time for any of that kind of trash either, if this is entirely true. So we got to jump into the next story here. This has to do with Naomi Osaka, y'all. Just recently, Naomi Osaka had a press conference, and she got teared up and briefly left a virtual press conference at a tennis tournament in Ohio following a question by a reporter her agent labeled as a bully. Now, I do have one piece of the video. Now it's saying during a press conference, Naomi Osaka broke down in tears after a reporter repeatedly asked her a question with an aggressive tone. During the press conference, tennis reporter Ben Rothenberg explained to TMZ that the reporter asked a fairly aggressively toned question about how she benefits from a high media profile, but doesn't like talking to media. Moments later, Osaka breaks down into tears and asks if she could step down from the podium. She returns to the conference, but Rothenberg says things went a bit awry. So we got to take a look at this.
I didn't know if people were.
We got to take a look at this particular clip because it just shows her getting emotional and all of that as well. All right.
I didn't know if people were looking at me in a different way than they usually did before. But I think the biggest eye-opener was going to the Olympics and having other athletes come up to me and say that they were really glad that I did what I did. So after all that, I'm proud of what I did, and I think that it was something that needed to be done. Yeah.
Hopefully it's okay if I ask a couple of tennis questions. The first one is just how the training has been and how your preparation has been for the summer hardcourt swing. And the second one is just related to your tweet over the weekend, related to what's going on in Haiti. Just what your reaction is to the news there. Thank you.
No, you're super good. I didn't.
Now, there is another clip here as well during this press conference. I wanted you guys to see this as well.
A young tennis star wiping away tears. Naomi Osaka overcome with emotion after interacting with a reporter.
You're not crazy about dealing with us, especially in this format. Yet you have a lot of outside interests that are served by having a media platform. I guess my question is, how do you balance the two?
When you say I'm not crazy about dealing with you guys, what does that refer to?
It started when a reporter from the Cincinnati Enquirer referred to past comments Osaka had made about her issue with the format of press conferences. The moderator offering to move on when Osaka paused mid-answer.
No, I'm actually very interested in that point of view. So if you could repeat that, that'd be awesome.
The 23-year-old went on to finish the exchange.
Ever since I was younger, I've had a lot of media interest on me.
But seconds later, she started to cry and left the room. After a short time, Osaka returned to finish taking questions. Naomi's agent later calling the reporter a bully, adding his sole purpose was to intimidate. Overnight, the reporter, Paul Doherty, writing in a column that he understands Osaka's struggle, adding she's very human and doesn't mind showing it.
You know what's frustrating to me is that I give this woman so much props for just having balls. Seriously, for having balls to get up here. And I don't mean tennis balls. I mean just having cojones, getting in front of her mental health and saying, hey, this is what I deal with every single day. Why can't you guys just leave Naomi Osaka the F alone? Let her just do her thing. Let her just live her life and do what she needs to do. I get it that everybody and their mama, right, wants to sit here, or there's a certain side, there's a certain level that wants to turn around and go, oh, wag their finger at her. You know what I'm saying? And I get it. There are plenty of people that would love to be at the top. There are plenty of people that would love to be where she's at. But I guarantee you can't handle the pressure like she's been handling it. You'd crumble in 2 seconds, y'all. For those of y'all who are naysayers, for those of y'all who sit there and talk ish on this woman, it is ridiculous. Why would this reporter try to trigger her like this? Why? She's doing the press conference. She even said it before. She don't want to do that stuff. She don't want to do that stuff because it makes her nervous. It gives her anxiety. Why can't people just respect that and let her do what she's supposed to do, which is go out there and perform and kick ass and take names? By the way, she a fellow Haitian, IET, let's go. But at the same time, oh, and also, by the way, all of her winnings, she's putting towards the disaster in Haiti, which also is freaking amazing as well. You know what I'm saying? So I give her mad props, right? She has been thrust onto a platform in the forefront of tennis in general. She is that thing everybody loves. They love her playing. She's very talented. She's good at what she does. Just let her do what she does. She don't owe anybody anything except coming in and doing the damn job, playing the game. I give her mad props for getting in front of her, talking about this stuff, saying what she's going through. That's brave. And I wish more people like Simone Biles came out. Yes, I know it was at that time when, America, kicking ass at the Olympics. But at the same time, y'all, like, there's some level of bravery of stepping up and saying, hey, I'm dealing with some stuff and it's crippling. I don't understand why people are just riding her ass. There's no reason for it. You just probably triggered her to the point where she doesn't want to do any more press conferences, or you just triggered her so that she doesn't want to go out on the court and play the game that she freaking loves, the game that she is here on this planet to play. It's so frustrating to me, y'all. So frustrating. David, what are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I mean, I just agree for the most part here. Everyone in the entire sport has been under a lot of stress lately, and you have to combine that with her own. Someone in the chat said she's half Haitian, so obviously,
yeah, half Haitian. My bad. I'm just saying, yes, she's half Haitian. I'm just saying, but she is, she is a proud. She is proud, and she does claim her country of Haiti as well. So, just saying that. I mean, we gotta claim somebody. Shoot, man. Dang, we got Wyclef Jean. That's it. You know what I'm saying? We gotta claim some of them. Damn, man. Let Haiti have a little something. Okay.
All right. But yeah, obviously she's even without the interview, she's going to be under a lot of stress. I don't know if she has any family there, but even if not, it's still where her family came from, so it's likely to be incredibly stressful, in addition to all of her other stresses with the competition. Someone in chat did mention it looked like she was kind of crying a little earlier. And kind of, she was already overwhelmed with emotion coming in, I guess. And so that question was just enough to kind of push her over. But I mean, she handled it very well as far as that goes. It's a very difficult situation, so obviously it's going to make most people who live or who come from Haiti upset, even if they don't have direct family there. And the chances are she does have family that's still living there, at least extended family.
Mm-hmm.
And very understandably, that's just going to create a lot of stress and anxiety in her daily life until everyone is safe and she figures out where everyone is. And even then, they're still not in a great situation. So even if they're safe now, that doesn't mean that they're going to be in a good situation, because they still need a lot of help down there, as you know.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's just a lot of pressure on a lot of people. You know, when you think about the things that are going on in Haiti, and you have extended family there, and you're worried about that extended family, then on top of that, you still are playing at the highest, at the peak of your own performance, where you're on the world stage and everybody's watching you, and you still got to kick some serious ass doing that stuff. Then you see what I'm saying? It's just a lot. It's a lot to take, especially when you're obsessed, especially when you're going through, when you're hearing bad news about loved ones that you may have lost, may have or may not have lost. It's a lot of pressure. Without a shadow of a doubt, it sucks. On top of that, mix that with anxiety and bouts of depression. I mean, it's just a lot. It's a lot to take. And I get it. She's out there, you know, there's a lot of people who sit there and they say the same thing with like Lizzo, for example. It's like, hey, you know, well, you out here, this is your job, you know, this is your job. You're supposed to be used to this stuff, man. Just get, you know, suck it up. Man up, G. Now, I hear that. But at the same time, it's not every day is easy on that platform. Not every day. You still have bad days. You still have, it just sucks that the bad days are also being seen in the public eye. I'm just saying. T, thoughts?
Well, I think many of us don't realize the gravity of being a public figure and being open to personal questions, professional questions on the daily basis. Naomi was, unfortunately, she was fined $15,000 a few months ago for not wanting to talk to the media. And I think that in her contract, she's obligated to talk to the media. And a lot of athletes, when they sign these contracts, every page may not be read carefully, but it's typically in there somewhere a clause saying that you must give this amount of time to answering to the press or the media or so forth. And everyone isn't equipped with those public speaking skills or just being vulnerable to the public like that. So it's unfortunate, like you said, like when she's having a bad day, she may not even be in the mood to speak publicly. Think about when we're at work and we have a bad day at work. You know, we want to go home and just crash. But she has to go to a podium that can be, you know, outlet her dialogue to an entire world. And it's unfortunate because sometimes you can't hide from the fame. And one thing also about fame is it's a double-edged sword, you know, because like the media or even your fans or whomever, they raise you up on a platform just to tear you back down again when they feel like it, unfortunately, or you make a misstep or a misquote. So, you know, it's unfortunate because she's still a young girl and she's still growing in her craft as a tennis player. And all she probably wants to do is just play tennis and fulfill her dreams and be the best person she can become. But emotionally, you know, she's unraveling publicly. And it seems that like when someone shows that weakness in public, it's almost like, you know, blood in the water. And some of these sharks are out here trying to profit off of her, like that reporter did recently.
No doubt. You know, it's interesting. Barbara Ebron. Well, sorry, nope, that's the wrong one. Just said, too bad she can't answer yes and no to their stupid questions. And I couldn't agree more. I wish it would be that kind of situation where she could just literally say, yes, no. Next question. She needs to go Trump on people. No, I don't like you. You're from a terrible, you know what I mean? Call them out. No. Next one. No, the one behind you, because I don't like you. Shut up. You right there. You know what I mean? Straight up. That's what she should be saying. She should just run that ish You know what I'm saying? Tell everybody to shut the hell up and you just answer the ones you want to answer. I don't like that question. Next one. That's it. Be choosy and be done with it. You know what I mean? Because you got to remember, though, too, also on top of this, you got to remember that she's on a platform and she's in a world where even her best is still not her best. You understand? There's still another way for her to do something better. She is always critiquing herself. She has a team that is constantly critiquing her all the time. She can go out there onto the court and perform beautifully. And they'll still sit there and go, well, you could have done this and that backswing that backhanded swing could have been this, that, and the other. I love that volley and all that. All these different things. They could critique her entire performance. And that's the pressure of being her. That's the pressure of the job. But sometimes it can be overwhelming. All of it can be very overwhelming, you know? But like I said, I'm rooting for Osaka, shout out to her. Keep staying strong. I know it's hard out here for a pimp. But at the same time, a lot of us are rooting for you. Real talk. But we got to go into this next one. Okay. A little bit of a left turn. I'm sorry. All right. Out in left field. But I feel like this is how we need to end the show because I think this is just hilarious. This is just amazing. Okay. This is just absolutely amazing. Well, this is a video that is amazing and amazingly loud. It's hilarious, and you just got to see this. A dude got caught cheating. I'm just going to say that. A dude got caught cheating, and this dude, his reasoning for what a dude got caught cheating. That's all I'm going to say. I can't even explain it because it's just hilarious. All right. Enjoy.
This mother. What? Oh no! I'm finna hit this bitch with my car. I'm finna hit her with my motherfucking car. Bitch, what the fuck you doing running with my nigga? What the fuck is wrong with you? Know that was your motherfucking nigga. How the fuck you didn't know that was my motherfucking nigga? Bitch, you up in my motherfucking house? I'll be back for you, bitch.
Oh, wait for it.
I know the fuck you ain't running right now. Why the fuck are you running, bitch? Why the fuck you got that bitch? Why the fuck is you with that bitch? I don't want no bitch. Wait, you... Bitch, shut your dumb ass. We racing with your dumb ass. Racing? Why the fuck you ain't got no shoes on, you dumb bitch? Racing, bitch. I left because I was trying to win the fucking race. Shut your crackhead head looking ass up, bitch. Why the fuck you with this bitch? I'm trying to figure this shit the fuck out. I'm no fucking bitch. I'm a fucking track coach. You ain't no fucking track coach, bitch. You didn't left that stupid bitch back there and you got the nerve to try to lie to me and tell me you ain't fucking cheating? I gotta win the fucking race to dumb ass. What's the race to, bitch? It don't matter. No, bring up.
Oh my God. And the fact that she says, where's the race at? What race? She actually says, what race? Dude said that was her. That was the trainer.
I was just laughing his underwear at the whole fucking time.
Yeah, man. He was in the middle of something else. You know what I'm saying? He had to get those pants on quick, those shorts on real quick. He forgot his shoes. He's like, I don't have my shoes on because I'm trying to beat you in the race. Yes. Thank you. Whoever that man is, thank you. Thank you for that. My God. But the fact that she even said, what race at the end? I'm trying to get to the race. What race you going to? What? I would have ran him over with the car. I'm just being real.
That's wild. That's wild.
She should have said that on the camera before, though, because then she'll get in trouble.
Right. She did say that on the camera. Well, she said that about the girl. And the girl's like, I don't know him. I didn't know he was your man.
She's trying to get dressed as she runs off, too.
Fucking track coach. That's his track coach, right?
I'm running track. That's my coach. Be you in a race.
Oh, man.
Where your shoes at?
No, I'm trying to win the race. You understand?
I'm trying to win the race. That's why, baby. I'm trying to win the race. You trying to race the car? You're trying to race the car.
He's trying to save his ass. You know that.
Yeah, I think he's trying to get away from her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He definitely was trying to get away from her, but she got the vehicle. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She got the car. She could put some real hurting on that dude's ass, man. But anyway,
Baltimore
was amazing. What did he say?
Just like in Baltimore. Don't forget that. Remember the Baltimore lady with the car rammed the house?
Oh
yeah.
Oh my God, that was amazing too. I'm like, wow. But that, wow, that's just another level of crazy right there. That one, you know what I mean? This is just hilarious. That one was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But wow. And I hope that man finds his shoes. If he even got a chance to get back in the crib to get his shoes, that's the question. You know what I'm saying? I'd like to know. Did he get his shoes or no? You know?
Probably just give up on those shoes for now.
Oh yeah,
Leave town for a while.
Yeah, no. She probably went back home and left-eyed all his shoes. Just lit all them issues on fire and gave two dams on his shoes. You know what I'm saying? Burned all of his clothes and his socks. Because apparently he likes to run and train in his socks. So there you go. You know what I mean? But anyway, guys, that is the show today. I want to say a big thank you to everybody for being on. David and T, thank you so much for being on today. I really do appreciate it.
Yeah, it was a fun show. At least
Yeah, man.
Was.
The last part was fun. Everything was pretty heavy today. Damn, today was heavy. You know what I'm saying? Today was a heavy show. You know what I'm saying? But hopefully it's a little bit lighter tomorrow. We'll see. I will be on tonight. At 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So be on the lookout for that. Okay, guys? I appreciate all y'all for being on today. Every single last one of y'all. And all you new faces and new family members that have come on to chop it up and check out the show. I want to say a big thank you to all y'all for being on. I really, really, really do appreciate that. Please, before you go, hit that like button down below. That would really mean a lot. And of course, hit that subscribe button. That will also mean a lot. And one last thing, I don't promote it as much, and I need to do it more often. Okay, we do have a Patreon. I just started it a couple days ago. Please go over to our Patreon. We are going to be doing some live shows over there this week and talking about a whole bunch of stuff that we can't talk right here on this platform. So please jump on over there. There's a whole bunch of tiers on there and join us. Okay, support the show. Join us over there. We're going to be doing some shows here later on this week to talk about all the stuff. I mean, there's stuff going on in Florida that's insane that we can't talk about over here. There's a lot of new news that's popping off all over the world, all over the country that has to do with the stuff that we're dodging right now. So please go over to the Patreon, patreon.com/the Pascal Show, and go and support, become a patron. Okay. And we'll be doing some shows very, very soon over there. Okay. So I really, really appreciate that. One last time, hit that like button. Don't forget to crush that subscribe button for those of y'all who are new to the show. It'd be really great to have you a part of the Pascal Show family. And I'll be on tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time with comedian Libby Higgins, which I'm very excited about. She's got a new movie that's coming out on Amazon Prime. And this girl's blowing up, y'all. This girl's making moves. You know what I'm saying? She's doing some really dope things. And I'm looking forward to chopping it up with an old friend as she skyrockets towards stardom. Okay, so be on the lookout tonight at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. We got a lot to talk about. Okay, but anyway, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys tonight. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. Have a blessed one, y'all. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.
Homeowners and property managers, if you're looking for effective and humane ways to remove wild animals and deal with the damage that they have caused, we have good news for you. Introducing Wildlife Command Center, a professional nuisance wildlife management company specializing in providing animal removal for residential, industrial, and commercial clients. We are the only wildlife company that checks 70 different areas on a structure to determine the answers to the following questions. Exactly which animal are we dealing with? How is the animal getting inside the home? What kind of damage is the animal doing to the structure? Once we get the answers to all of these questions, we develop and write up an action plan to resolve the animal issue completely and provide a quote to implement that action plan. We perform a very in-depth 70-point wildlife inspection. From visually inspecting the highest point, the chimney, to physically crawling inside the attic space and looking for animals, chewed wires, fecal matter, chewed structural wood. We inspect everything. Our inspection process covers all of the following 70 points: animal-proof chimney cap, roof ridge vents, roof to soffit junctions, dormer fascia, attic gable vents, gutter lines, fascia trim, garage door, utility penetrations, water, gas, electric, and cable, bathroom vents, attic roof ridge vents, attic electrical, wiring, junctions, boxes, and lighting, concrete decks, additions, wooden crawl spaces, basement plumbing, penetrations, ceiling, floor, and wall. Wildlife Command Center's mission is to deliver the finest quality wildlife removal and pest control service that is safe for the environment. For more information, call us now.